I don't know if anyone's ever watched the Disney video, the Disney movie, Meet the Robinsons, but Walt Disney had this really great quote: keep moving forward. And, it's a really great quote for the simple fact that what else can you do? Like 9/11. Time stood still for a moment. It didn't seem like it was real. For like New Yorkers like me, I lived there for for the majority of my life, and for people living there now, people overseas who've never even been to New York, never seen New York, for those who've just heard about New York through stories, the world stopped, time stopped, but New York never stood still. And I think that's the one thing I admire about New York, that no matter what time it is, you can always find something to do. You'll always find someone wandering around the street, and something is always open. Everything is always open. Lights are still on. And that's because they're constantly moving. And people say they don't like the busyness and the hustle and bustle of the city. It's too fast. It's too congested. It's too much. But the way I see it is, New York is just constantly moving forward. It never takes a break. It never skips a beat. It never takes a breath. It's constantly moving forward. And I think that's how they got through and coped with such a big disaster, because they were constantly moving forward. And people say that God never gives you or anything that you can't handle, and there's no obstacle you can't face if you believe. And I don't really think it has to do with religion, and I don't think it has to do with anyone other than you and what you know and what you feel in your heart and in your gut. And things get hard. And my mom is sick, and my boyfriend's stepdad is sick, and it all happened in the same month. And it's gotten increasingly worse on both sides, and on my side it's kind of looking up, and on his side it's just getting worse. And you never know when the tables can turn. And I have anxiety problems, and my biggest thing is not knowing the future and not knowing how things will end up, and just not knowing what to expect. This all happened at the same time that me and my boyfriend kind of, I don't even know what to call what happened to our relationship, but it's like everything happened at once. And with my anxiety, it was just overwhelming and too much to handle. And even now, like, it just sucks, and I just want everything to go back to the way they used to be. And I know that there's a possibility that they never will. But it's the not knowing that frightens me. Because how can I prepare myself? How can I make plans if I don't know what could happen? And things get worse because they're short on money and we're short on money. And more my family than his, because right now we have nothing, to pay for my mom's medication, to keep heat in the house, and to keep hot water in the house. It takes all of our money, and sometimes we have nothing to eat. We have very little, and my brother's a growing boy, and he's autistic, and he doesn't understand things like that. So to keep his life as normal as it can be needs a lot of sacrifices. And my dad gets paid oh so little, and I'm trying to work part-time and go to school full-time or part-time, and it's like no matter what, ends aren't meeting. And before it was living paycheck to paycheck, and then my paycheck was helping for a while, and then I got hurt, and then my mom got sick, and now 2 paychecks aren't making it paycheck to paycheck at this house anymore. I was like, what can I do? I just got my paperwork through, and I have no credit history whatsoever, so I can't get any credit cards to help us out. I can't get a car with no credit. Can't get a credit card with no credit. Can't buy anything with no credit, own anything with no credit. Right now, my bank account's at 0. My dad's bank account's at 0. Our fridge is empty, and Christmas is a day away. Under our Christmas tree is empty. And any leftovers from any staff parties or, any friend's house I go to, I bring home just so that we can have food in our fridge. And it's very overwhelming. And, at the age of 20, all my coworkers call me the baby because I can't go out and drink. And it's funny because when I moved to PA, the only thing people would say is, you act so much older than you really are. And a lot of people in college still, now that I moved back, think that I am a lot older than I really am. And I had to grow up really young and really fast. I didn't have a choice. My family's always been struggling, and things just drastically got worse these last 3 months. And I don't mind that I missed out on a childhood and a lot of things that other kids and teenagers get to do. It hurts that I can't do anything to help my family, and I don't know how to help. And we've never been so hard for money, ever. And I'm really scared that if there's no food for my mom to eat, then she'll just get sicker and she won't be better. And then how am I supposed to explain that to my brother, who's autistic? And I have no one to talk to. And I have no friends. You think you have friends until things get tough, and then you realize that they weren't friends to begin with because they're gone. So I'm turning this blog into a video blog, into a video diary, if you want to say. I have no one else to talk to, and those that listen don't really care. And if they do, sometimes they just don't listen enough. I guess this is my way of trying to help myself move forward. Every day I pretend like nothing's bothering me, like I'm not feeling any pain. because I know that I have to keep moving forward in order for things to happen. And whether things be good or bad, I somehow have to find a way to keep moving forward. But right now, I don't think that this family will be able to keep moving forward without some miracle way of making more money